Greetings, magical souls. I hope that everybody is doing well. I have had a pretty interesting week. I resigned on Monday from my 3D job. And yeah, it's been a little bit overwhelming, to be very honest. But I just wanted to come on today and talk a little bit about the energies. So with me having now resigned, I have, obviously, I'm going to work my notice and then I'll be out on my own. And it's very, very strange because I'm not even really feeling any fear around this, which I would have expected myself to. But if any of you watched the interview that I had with Rose on Wednesday this week on the Great Awakening Generator, I did mention that I'd had an experience last week that was pretty profound. And in a nutshell, the best way that I can describe it is that it feels like I've embodied more of my soul. My soul has become more embodied, and that there's less of the ego chatter. I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. But anyway, I find these energies incredibly interesting because since we've moved into this year, I mean, I've been working towards the goal of being magic, being my full-time vocation for a while. But after, I thought I'd resign last year and I didn't. I thought I'd resign in January last year and I didn't. Then I thought I'd do it in May and I didn't. And then I thought I'd do it in October and I didn't. And then I thought I'd do it in December and I didn't. And then I went back to work in January this year and I just realized that I can't be fully authentic in that 3D space anymore. And that's really becoming impossible to ignore. And so on this note, there's a couple of things. And as I say, the energies are very interesting because I don't know why I had that experience that I had the week before last, but it seems like all the fear and the slight sort of wobbly that I was going to have is not there at all. However, the sadness at leaving my 3D job that came on in the sort of 2 to 3 days following was quite unexpected. And I realized that I was feeling a sense of loss. And in that moment, it was really, really powerful because as I was sort of working through my emotions and my feelings and what I was doing, this beautiful energy came in and I just heard, you never really lose anything because we're all part of one. And so I guess today my message is, apart from talking about the energies, is to say to you that if you are not doing something that your soul or heart is calling you to do because you are worrying about losing something, I encourage you to try and look at it from a different perspective. And instead of looking at it from what you're going to lose, think about what you're going to gain. And yeah, it was a difficult one because the human side of me is feeling the loss, but the bigger part of me knows that I haven't lost anything, and it's really quite powerful. So there've been a few interesting things. So first of all, as I say, I resigned, and within 2 days I had 3 new clients. So the universe is really, really, I feel the energies are really, really supporting me in making this move. And, now that I've kind of put now that I've resigned, I think I'm a little bit more comfortable speaking about certain things that maybe I couldn't before, because I wasn't sure who was going to see the come across the YouTube channel that may have been somebody that I work with in that business. And then, I hadn't resigned yet. So there definitely is that sense of that I don't have to hide anymore, which is just really, really awesome. And also, yeah, I'm going to start dressing for the job that I want. And I mean, hence the Alice band I've got on today. So I'm redoing my wardrobe, and I am making some clothing for myself, which is going to be a lot of it's in a very medieval, or I don't know, maybe medieval is a good word, but even kind of some of the stuff's going to be quite esoteric. When people come to me for readings and stuff, I might start looking like that fortune teller. Anyway, so I'm definitely going to embody and just really run with this, the energy that I'm now going to be able to very soon put 100% of into being magic. And I'm really, really excited about it. So aside from the three new clients, which I just was completely blown away by, the other thing was that two of them were card readings. And when I first completed my website, I had a little bit of a wobbly, and I asked my husband to check my website, but I'd had everything on before I published it. And then he looked at it and he said, no, everything is great. And then because I'd been asking him to test some stuff on the website, he was subscribed to getting notifications through my website. And so when I posted a blog, he got notified. And then he went, well, I don't know, he went onto the website, whatever, and then he said to me, I don't know how it exactly came about, but he said to me, why have your card readings gone? And I said, because I'm scared to do them. And this was a couple of months back. I mean, this must have been, or actually early last year. And he said to me, Em, you've got to put the card readings on there. Why are you scared to do card readings? And I said, because, I haven't done a lot of them, like I've done healing or whatever. I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable. What if I'm not good enough? And he said to me, oh, my word, you have got to put the card readings back on. And so anyway, I said to him, but why? And he said, because you've got to get out of this not feeling good enough. He said, you've just got to do it. So I slept on it, and the next day I put the card readings back on my website. And what I realized the other day was that the card readings almost felt like they were not the exact same thing. I'm at a loss for words. The exact same, I don't want to say energy, because it's all the same energy, but they weren't sort of in the same vein as the energy healing and the hypnotherapy and the animal healing and the vibrational products and all that kind of thing, because that all had a healing element in my mind, and cards were more like just fun, and they maybe give you something to chew on, if you will. But anyway, the past two readings that I've had have been so powerful, and I had one the end of last week and one on Wednesday. And what I realized is that the readings are healings, and it was such a profound moment when I realized that, because I'd also about 2 years ago explored the concept of being a spiritual coach for people. So instead of going to a psychologist or doing that kind of thing, having more of a coaching session, but on a spiritual level, where maybe if people were new to the energy body and didn't quite understand how things worked, where I could almost try and explain to them in layman's terms how the energy body works, and almost a little bit more about the unseen realms, if you will. So I had that little nugget in my head from about 2 years ago. I thought, what about being a coach? Instead of doing the psychology thing, have people come and talk to me if if they're struggling with something, and, maybe energetically I can somehow coach them. But anyway, as I say, so moving along to the two readings that I've had very recently, what I find so interesting is that the readings have turned into almost like a coaching session, but the readings have been so powerful because the cards have enabled the clients to, because the cards, remember, are just coming, the cards are a tool to bring out what is in the subconscious. And I don't believe in doing readings. If somebody comes to me and says, tell me my future, then I don't do the reading. I believe the reading has to be almost a, tell me what I need to know, because, and I don't like yes, no readings either. Should I buy this house, or should I date this guy, or whatever it is? Because I think that that's too limiting. And what we should be asking is the question of, what is it that I need to know? Because when you ask that question, you then, the cards, you allow your soul to speak to you through the cards, and they really are quite powerful. But what happened this week was the people that came in, it almost turned into a bit of a coaching session afterwards. And I was suddenly struck by how much healing was happening in the actual readings. There was, there were real shifts happening in the readings, but the two people that came to me were very willing for me to ask that open-ended question, like, what does so-and-so need to know right now? And the cards really spoke volumes, and they really resonated with them. And the cards, when I went into the cards and said, this is what I see, because I don't really like to ask people anything about themselves before they come in. I like to let the cards speak, because I don't like to be colored by what they've told me. And the readings were really, they weren't like anything like really like woo, or like wow or whatever, but the little things that I was saying to them when I was reading in each of the cards were causing them to go in and dig up things, and then things were coming out their mouth where they were going, oh, I don't know where that came from. And it happened a couple of times. It happened more than once, where they said, I don't know why I've mentioned that. I haven't thought about that in years. And then we started to have a little conversation around that while I was doing the reading. And I honestly feel like when these two people left my cabin, I was that it was almost like I had like what I feel when somebody leaves my cabin and I've done a healing session. I had the same feeling, and it was awesome. I felt like they had done some healing and a little bit of digging into the shadow and a little bit of contemplation and introspection in the space of the reading. So for me, this is really, really different. I've not, and as I say, I've now had two like this in the past sort of week, and I think it's the energies. I really, really do. The energies are feeling so supportive, and so like the energies just want us to get rid of the shit and just start becoming into the best, highest, most magical versions of ourselves. And it's just, there's such magic in the air that it's almost tangible. And so I really wanted to come on today and just mention that, and also just to encourage those who maybe are a bit stuck to maybe have a reading with somebody who's, don't think of it as fortune telling. Think of it as your soul speaking to you through the cards, because that's how I see card readings. I believe that the soul is speaking to us, or the subconscious is speaking to us through the cards. And they just have an uncanny way of sometimes really, really, there will be a word that I mention as I'm talking about the card, and that will be the thing that the person hooks onto, and then, we just run with it. And yeah, so it's quite interesting. So I wanted to also thank my hubby for making me put that back on my website. He also said it's like the gateway drug to the land of woo woo. That's what he calls it, because he says more people do card readings than they kind of know about the energy body or have done energy healings or whatever. And I get what he's saying, but yeah, so it's been really, really interesting. And yeah, I've woken up almost every morning this week, between the hours of 2 and 4, and just had loads to journal, loads to unpack, loads to release. And it's just been really interesting, and I'm feeling really quite positive at the moment. And yeah, I just really wanted to share that, because I do think that if anybody is feeling this, I think last year was possibly harder for some of us than 2022, even 2021 and 2020. I mean, it just seems like the shit's now gone on for actually far too long, and we just really need a break. And and it's almost like the universe has heard our call for just a little bit of a breather. And this year is not going to be without its challenges and that, but it's just so interesting, how you can view these things from a different perspective. And yeah, so I just really wanted to come on and say that. And then the other thing that was really interesting was, when I did a healing session, my healing session this morning, actually, I was called to use my what are they, liquid crystal cards. I'll put the link in the description on them. But any energy healer and any crystal healer might love to work with these cards. So what I did was I felt called to pull them out. And what they're from is they're written by a guy who, I might be paraphrasing and getting this a little bit wrong, but he has some memory or some connection to Atlantis, and when they worked with the crystals. And what the cards are is that they are infused with, the cards they're all crystal cards, so their names are like amethyst and rose quartz and obsidian and whatnot, but they're infused with almost like this beautiful light language, and the energy, the energetic signature of the actual crystal. But because it's got this connection to Atlantis, where they were so connected and working with their crystals, the cards are really powerful. I find them, I'll draw one, sometimes just before a healing session, and then I'll go, well, that doesn't really make sense. And the person will come in and they'll tell me all the things that the card, that particular crystal and that card has said can heal. So there's something in these cards, and they really are quite beautiful. Maybe I'll just show you the book here, because my cards are still cleansing themselves. But this is what the pack looks like, and this is just the book. Really, really beautiful. I would so worth the money. And they are, this deck is utter magic, I must just say. So anyway, and so what I did this morning was I called the cards, and I picked up one, and then I had a look in the book. And there's always a healing trinity. So let's say you've picked a rose quartz. There's normally like between one and three healing trinities in this book. So he'll say to you, pair rose quartz with amethyst and smoky quartz. And then he tells you where to place them on the body and exactly what that will help with. So they really are cool. And anyway, so this morning I picked one, and the one that I got, I looked at it, and it really resonated with me. I just thought, I'm really, really drawn to it. And the one placement that was on for that card was called the Buddha Trinity. Now, anybody who knows, who studied Reiki, we often believe that the the energy of Buddha is infused into the Reiki energy that we work with. So much more like the, sort of the golden ray or whatever, and that's infused with Christ energy and the, the 12 rays and all of that kind of thing. Buddha's energy is in there as well. So, but with Reiki energy, we often, we'll almost invoke that Buddha energy before we start working, because it's like a beautiful golden energy. It's like a golden sun, and it's absolutely awesome. And so anyway, so this Buddha energy really called to me today, because I was doing a hypno energetic session. And so I put the cards on my client for the session. And during the session, she said to me, because we went into a place that she was going to visit, and that she was going to have her healing in her little sanctuary. And she said that she just got this huge golden light around, or golden sun around the top. And then when she left, she was looking at my unicorns, and she said to me, oh, I've got a unicorn tattooed on my body. And I said, oh, that's so cool. And I said, come, we have to pull a unicorn card quickly. And I shuffled the deck, and then I gave it to her to shuffle, and one popped out, and it was and I'm losing it again, the Mahatma energy card. So I'll also put that in the link. And I found this profound, because this energy is all about this, almost this golden ray. It's the Christ infused, Buddha infused, the 12 rays, all of that. And I just go, how is the universe speaking to me at the moment? How are these synchronicities? So I choose the Buddha, the Buddha Trinity to help her heal. She then actually sees this during her going under hypnosis. She feels and sees the energy of this golden, of the Buddha, the energy of the Buddha. And then she picks the unicorn. Then the unicorn card that comes out for her, that flips out the deck, is also this golden ray, this Mahatma energy, this, and I just go, I mean, need I say more? So I am completely awed and absolutely fascinated by the energies at the moment, and the universe is speaking to me in such amazing ways. And I just think that everybody out there's got to take advantage of this. This is the time for you to ask the universe for what you want, and for you to take this inspired action. And if you have something that you've always dreamed of doing, now is the time. Start taking the steps towards working towards that, because these energies are so potent. Anyway, so yeah, that's really all I came on to say today. But as I'm signing off now, I am feeling like, oh, we just got to draw a dragon card. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, so wow. It's been a bit of an amazing week, and I just think, wow. And I have so much gratitude for all these experiences, and all these things that are happening, and all these synchronicities, and because they humble me. I just really, I don't know, they make me feel like I can take on the world, and that I'm invincible and whatever, which I know my soul is eternal and whatever, but they humble me at the same time. And I don't know if that makes any sense. I feel huge, and I feel powerful, and I feel empowered, and I just, it's so amazing. But at the same time, I feel really, really humbled. And I mean, I'm getting a bit tearful now, just feeling this, whatever it is that I'm feeling. But yeah, I just think, wow. I'm going to stop talking, because I just actually don't even have the words. And so let's see what our little dragon friends would like to say to us today before I leave you. And the first one is, where am I? Singold, who's beautiful. He came to me the other day, and wow, isn't he just gorgeous? And does he not look so golden again? He almost looks golden and silvery, but I just think he reminds me of the sun. I mean, sing gold. He's got gold in his name. Anyway, let me not rattle on because So his message is, do that which lifts your heart to bring forth your deep inner smile from within. And he is the dragon of gratitude, and he arrives when we need to take notice of and acknowledge old negative patterns. He asks us to recognize old emotional blocks. For example, these can be self-doubt, fear, or jealousy. He says, review your life to date and find things to be grateful for so you can rejoice in who you are. Acknowledge the fears, envy, guilt, or anger within. Accepting the niggling doubts, admit they are present, for they are part of you. But you have no need to dwell here, for they are part of your past and are no longer relevant to your life now. Instead, revel in the pure joy of being alive. Seek the positive in your existence here on earth. Uncover the things to rejoice about. Do that which lifts your heart to bring forth your deep inner smile from within. Seek a totem to act as a reminder. This can be an object small enough to carry or wear daily. Set the intention within it to stay focused on being joyful and grateful, so that when this totem is on your person, it reminds you that all is as it should be. You are learning the lessons of gratitude, and you are exactly where you should be now. Go forward with deep love in your heart. What a beautiful message. And I've just been talking about, take the leap and start working towards things. But this is, take notice and acknowledge old negative patterns. I mean, I just think, wow, that's a really, really cool card. And then the second one that popped out was Asclepius. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but isn't he gorgeous? And he's also half gold. He's half gold and half purple. And his message is, it is your journey and yours alone. So Asclepius was I apologize for bastardizing the name if it's wrong, was the ancient Greek god of medicine, the son of Apollo. Upon meeting him for the first time, his opening words were, your modern image of the caduceus is incorrect. He was a healer of great repute in Greek mythology, and this dragon in particular reminds us that inside us too reside great healers. His particular affinity lies with practitioners who use healing plants, herbalism, homeopathy, and essential oils and flower essences. Add to this his rather shamanic energy and his affinity with snakes, and he is a powerful ally. And I just love that, because I work with homeopathy, essential oils, and flower essences. But there's a really important message in there, and that is that inside us all are great healers. Don't ever forget that everybody is their own healer. So, but he is the dragon of the healer and the shaman. His wisdom is boundless. If he has flown into your reading today, know that you have his abundant knowledge by your side. Continuing with his practical help for your physical life, he asks you if you need the support of a professional with knowledge of healing plants, or if it's time for you to undertake training in one of the areas mentioned above, or indeed shamanism. Alongside his ability to support those working with plant energies, he is a powerful ally when we are ready for the next phase of our transformational journey of life. So all those of you who've been thinking about doing something and keep putting it off, now's the time. Call on this guy's energy. His presence in your cards today reminds you that together you create the immense combination of transmutation and transformation. Deep within, you know you can and will succeed. So, we thank the dragons for that absolutely beautiful and powerful message. And I hope that if there's anybody out there that needed to hear this today, may you go forth and make your dreams real. And I'm going to end off today with a magical quote. It's a very simple one, but I think it's very fitting. Why be normal when you can be magical? So I just I just wanted to share that today. And I am going to be soon doing a video. This is another thing that happened this week. I'm going to be doing a video with somebody else that I follow on YouTube that I really, really admire and love. And she's agreed to come on as my first guest on, on the Being Magic YouTube channel. So she'll be the first guest of ours. I'm not going to say who it is. I might announce it just before I publish the recording, but really excited about that, and I'm looking forward to having more people on my channel going forward. And yeah, I'm sure you're going to find the chat very interesting. So I hope this has been a inspiring message for anybody out there that needs it. And never forget that you are pure magic. So I'm going to sign off now. Have a beautifully magical day. Sending much love.